Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're watching me from. Hello. Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? If you can see me, if you can hear me, can I have you drop it in the comment section if you're excited to be here today? Thank you so much. Hi. Hello. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thank you so much. It's an exciting conversation. I'm so excited for today. Thank you for joining in on the conversation today. It's going to be an amazing conversation. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Thank you. I can see not actually your names. Thank you. To Legal Ali. Thank you. Victoria Jarikre. That should be Mrs. Aderi, if I'm not mistaken, and that should be Mr. Jerry Cray. Anyway, thank you so much for joining in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we're just going to give some few seconds for more persons to join in on this conversation. It's going to be a splendid one. It's going to be an amazing one, enlightening one. You know, I'm so excited about this conversation. Yes, I know. So good to have you on this conversation, Apia dearie. Thank you. Um, that one reason why I'm so excited about this conversation is because of the guest we're having. He has been on this conversation, I think, twice now. This should be the third time. Yes, and every of his conversation with us is mind blowing. It opens up to a whole new phase of knowledge, of wisdom, and I'm so excited. He always comes on this conversation to talk about fatherhood. So it's one reason why I'm so excited, and you should be excited today because you're going to learn a lot. It's going to shake a lot of tables. Thank you so much, Tech Ward. Zidia Baba, thank you. Hello, welcome, welcome. So quickly, I'm not going to waste a lot of time because when he's on this conversation, we don't have time because he had a lot to share. So I'm just going to read his profile. Then we're going to go straight right into this conversation. I'm going to be talking about a father's legacy. You know, this month we have been celebrating fathers, the entire month of June, School of Parenting. Oh, thank you. I'm so fine. I hope you're doing well. School of Parenting dedicated this month to celebrate fathers. Yes, it's the month of fathers. We've been celebrating them, talking about them, encouraging them, saying a lot of things. And we're going to be crowning it up with this SOP Online conversation. Today's 29th of June, and we have an amazing guest. So I'm going to read his profile quickly. Share the link to your friends and family. They cannot afford to miss this conversation. I tell you sincerely. So let's go on to the profile of our guest. Now, he's a passionate teacher of the word and the lead pastor of Church of God Mission International, the Grace Place, Abuja, where he has served for over 12 years, raising a Christ centered church in the heart of the city. He spares nothing to ensure that Christ remains the most visible part of his life and ministry. With a strong apostolic calling to illuminate biblical truths, it helps believers understand God's law of grace and the mission of reconciliation. His writing is rooted in a desire to inspire spiritual growth and a renewed commitment to the gospel. He is set to begin a an healing ministry called Outreach, with the revealing the love of God in Christ and giving men the impetus for victorious living. He's a trained communicator, strategist, graphic designer, creative thinker, life coach, public speaker, and a serial entrepreneur. Amazing. Providing support and solutions to local and international clientele, including the United Nations. He's married to the amazing Pastor Lillian Oshemba and blessed with three awesome children, Sean, Adriel, and Amanda. Through writing, speaking engagements, and discipleship efforts, he continues to share God's truth, equipping believers to walk in the fullness of their faith. So join me as we roll it up. You know the way we do it in SOP Online Conversation, we roll the drums. We roll the drums. I'm rolling. Oh, this time I'm not just rolling the drums. I'm rolling myself here. I'm just rolling here. Welcome. Join me as I welcome Reverend Chima Chamber to this conversation.
Hey, yes. How are you? So good to be back on SOP. So good to be back on SOP.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank you so
thank you so
much,
much
Pastor.
for having me. Thank you so much.
it's always an amazing conversation when you are here. I feel so, I don't know the word, relaxed, and I'm just ready to hear a lot of things. I was speaking to my husband, and I was telling him that when Reverend Shima is coming on the conversation, the time does not work for us
Oh,
because there's a lot to say on the
it's a
conversation,
lot
and
to say.
everybody doesn't want to go because
Mhm.
Reverend Chima opens up to a whole new dimension of fatherhood, relationship, what fathers need to do. God bless you, sir.
Thank you
God
so
bless you.
much.
I'm so
Thank you,
excited
Pastor
about
Kitty, for
it.
having me. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, how's your day?
Oh, today. I don't want to go into the details of today. Several emotions. I told my wife earlier, I said, the kind of emotional expenditure I've had today is I've not had it in a long time. But we just
Wow.
got faithful. We stay on track and trust God for many more miracles. Yes. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. So,
Mhm.
we're just going to go right into the conversation. Like I was
Yeah.
saying, this month we have dedicated it to fathers. You know, most times
Mhm.
fathers are always like, there are 251 or 1,000 celebration for Mothers in the year. And I'm wondering how now? It's not up to how many celebrations we have, but at least the month we need to celebrate fathers, we need to do it well because
Absolutely.
fathers put in a lot into
Mm.
the family. They put in a lot into raising children, even into
Mm.
taking care of their spouse. It's a whole lot. Sometimes I feel we don't understand the pressures they go through, and a lot of people are quick to criticize and see the faults, the weaknesses. But putting it into perspective, it's a whole lot being the head of a family, a lot of
Absolutely.
responsibilities. Anything goes wrong, you are called upon. Anything goes
Absolutely.
right, you are called upon. Everything goes ugly, you are called upon. You are the head that drives the home. So it's a lot of responsibility. And I really want to appreciate and celebrate every father out there. You're doing an amazing job. I'm not really so concerned right now about the challenges, the weaknesses, the setbacks you have had. But coming thus far, you are doing an amazing job. And there are better roads or better days ahead. So Pastor
Amen.
Chima, you're
Amen.
doing an amazing job. I can see it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, your wife,
Thank
you're
you.
doing an amazing job. And I'm going to get both of you on this platform. I'm very serious. Together.
We'll be glad. We'll be glad every time to be here. We'll be glad to be here.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the fathers and legacy in different. People see legacy based on material things, things you leave,
Mm.
physical things you leave. But I'm wondering if we really want to put into perspective, if we tell fathers, leave a legacy for your children, people say that a lot. Leave a good legacy for your children. What are we actually saying? What's a father's legacy? What can we term as a father's legacy?
Thank you so much. Beautiful question. The word legacy is a very strong word. It's a word that has to do with culture, a word that has to do with inheritance, a word that has to do with values, a word that suggests that a man can transfer um, a way of life from one generation to the other.
Mm.
And one of the roles of a father is to create that reality, that culture that he can hand over to his children. I'm sure you have already. Everybody knows I'm a pastor, so I have a lot of scriptures. Um,
Yeah.
the Bible says,
Okay, I think we have a glitch on this network. We don't need that today because I know we're ready for this conversation. The father's legacy. Very important for us to understand the concept of legacy. Like I said, a lot of people think that legacy has to do with physical things. And when a man leaves a lot of things for his children, they're like, okay, I've left, in quotes, a good legacy. But that is legacy restricted to material things? Is legacy restricted just to physical things, just to houses, to cars, to money? um, what truly does the word legacy mean? Reverend Chima was just talking about the word has to do with culture, inheritance. When you have to go to the process of transferring your values, transferring your beliefs transferring the way you think, transferring your perspective to your children. So when we talk about a father's legacy, we're not just restricted to just today. We see beyond the now. We see generations ahead. We see the imprint of a father's life, of a father's wisdom, of a father's knowledge, of a father's capacity deposited in his children. So it goes beyond about what you do now, what you do in the present, but what you are doing now that prepares the future, that affects the next generation, that goes into the future, into generations to come. So legacy cannot be restricted to the now. Cannot be restricted. Okay, I'll get him back. Let me get him back.
Oh my.
Okay, welcome back.
So sorry. I need to get my own internet service, my own satellite in space.
Okay, bye.
All right. So I was saying, like you've been straightening the thoughts already. Culture, way of life. The Bible talks about the Rechabite children, and it says that a prophet came to them. A prophet told to them and said, "Come drink, have a few drinks." And they said, those ladies said, "Our father told us not to be given to strong wine." So it's a culture thing. And we can tell who a child is, who a father is, when the child has moved away from the father. So I can look at the child and tell the influence. I hope I'm not jumping the gun now. The influence, what was handed over by his father to his child, because legacy is beyond naira and kobo. That's why if you ask me what is the top responsibility of a father, I would tell you number one, presence. The top responsibility, the top legacy, the top ingredient in the production of a legacy is presence. You cannot outsource it. You cannot. Our Father God, one of the things he gone for through the years was to bring us to the point where we can experience Emmanuel, God with us. And so a father should also be with his children and his family. And it has to outlive you. We can trail a generation and tell who the father of that generation is. So a legacy is way beyond money. It's actually a way of life, a culture, a practice that your children becomes practitioners of an ideology that is beyond you. Back to you.
A practice of an ideology. And like I was saying when the network threw you out, I was saying that legacy goes beyond just today. It's something that affects generations.
Absolutely.
So it's imprinting, like you said, a culture, value system in a child that not perceives, that goes beyond the child into generations to come.
Absolutely.
And like you said, the top ingredient is presence. No father can truly influence their children without being present. The kind of legacy that fathers should create in the lives of their children requires them to be present. Requires a lot of presence. They have to be in the life of the child. You have to be in the life of the child. You're not parenting from afar, because a lot of people parent from afar. Now, some fathers may say, "But I stay in the same house with my child." But you are parenting from afar, because you're not in the life of that child. You don't know what is happening in the life of that child. You don't have healthy conversations with that child. The only conversations probably you have is when you are yelling at the child, or you are giving out instructions or something else. So, like you said, presence is critical. Presence. I remember
it's good to also highlight here, Pastor Kitty, that presence is not always proximity.
Very true.
That presence is not always proximity. Oftentimes, people mistake proximity from presence. As I've seen very present fathers who work from other parts of the world. I've seen very present fathers who work from other parts of the world. I have also seen very in the same house fathers who are far from their children. right? So proximity is not always presence. It's not always presence. And it's good that we establish, that in this our discourse. Thank you. Back to you, Doc.
Very true. I really like that point you just chipped in, because I think some fathers feel what's the sense, they feel like they are left out because probably they don't walk where their family stays, so they feel like I'm not present in the life of my child. But like you said, it has to do with a lot of intentionality and being deliberate to
absolutely
to maintain the connection you have with that child, even if you are far away. So like you said, the presence is not actually always have to do with the proximity, but the building of connection. So even if you are not physically within range with that child, there's a connection that has been formed that is maintained away from afar. So that's something that is very critical, very critical. I posted something during this month when we're celebrating fathers, and I asked a question that what are the lessons that people have learned from their fathers that still keep them today? Are there values that people have taken from their fathers that are still guiding principles in their lives today? I don't know if we saw, I think it was a question during this month. And if I really want to ask us today, are there values, are there lessons we learned from our fathers? I'll guess it back. That we learned from our fathers.
So sorry.
Okay, welcome. So I was asking Reverend Chima of the quote I dropped, the question I dropped this month on our social media platform. What are the lessons? What are the questions? What are the values you learned from your father that still speaks in your life today? And a lot of people will be wondering. Some people it's in the negative, some people it's in the positive. But those things go a long way to shape our lives, because sometimes we feel that it doesn't matter, it didn't make any difference. But the truth is that those things subtly, they are making a difference and guiding the way we live our lives, guiding the way we father our children, guiding the way we make decisions in our homes. Because there are certain things that probably our fathers told us. These are the things you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. Lessons that have either a positive impact or a negative impact in the life of a man or a boy that grows into a man and now becomes a father. And that is where the intentionality comes when we to become mentors. Whenever you are sowing lives, you are planting a seed, you are dropping something. And it's the boys of today that becomes the fathers of tomorrow. So, Pastor Chima, I'm going to ask you a question. I know in one of the conversations, you talked a little bit about your father. Are there certain things that you can still remember today that your father taught you, gave you advice, that still like guiding principles that rule your life? And how important is it for fathers to take this very seriously? That the little things they do in the lives of their children, boys and girls, we go a long way to affect how those children will turn out.
Absolutely. So you met my father, Pastor Kite, and you know he was a very strong presence person. And one of the major accusations I get from my siblings in recent times is, why you behave like your papa? Why you behave like your papa? In fact, I took a picture a few 2 Sundays or so last Sunday, and they said, not the 2 Sundays now, and they said, you must, so this shirt you are wearing now, you want to now start dressing like your father. I'm one of the, I'm really imprinted. My father really imprinted me in certain things. But one of those things that I've learned or that is leading me is empathy. The lesson of empathy. Now, take away the lesson of spirituality as one. But number 2 is empathy. One of the things I learned from my father is, don't be in a hurry to jump into conclusions about people. Be quick, be first, slow down to listen to people, to understand where people are coming from. And there is empathy there, there is discipline there, there is leadership there, there is taking responsibility there. One of the things that my father would insist that we do is be in front. He says, he says, don't you ever be in a room and nobody knows you came. Once you come into the room, be in front, take responsibility. I remember, I remember many years ago, went to Benin, went for convention. I think it was Pastors Conference. Then it was still holding the Faith Arena. And was it Pastors Conference now, School of Ministry? One of them, but it's one of these events in Benin. And so I drove, after we finished, me and my father, we drove to an eatery. And that's another lesson. And I was going to drive in, but the security man said, no, come on, park outside. I was going to go back, and my father said, you let a gate man turn you back. It wasn't about, it was not, it shifted from driving into an eatery. It became a consciousness in my heart, in my mind, in my consciousness, that there is hardly any gate that I cannot confront. Hardly any gate. There's hardly any space I need to break into that I can't break into. You know, that lion's heart. So I can go on and on and on. I think I should write a book on the lessons my father taught me. It's that being able to push beyond just being on the backside. No, that's not Reverend Osio Chamber. If you are in a space, you take responsibility, you show leadership, you show discipline, you show focus, you put your resources out there. You are the first to lead. That's one of the top lessons. And I see that play out in my life, play out in my job, my current profession, my current employment. And he has taken me around a few places. He has taken me, in fact, I just returned from a trip outside of the country. And one of the things that positioned me for that was that I was not sitting behind. Who can take responsibility for this? My hand is up. Who can do this? My hand is up. Who had a thought about that? My hand is up. And this is a lesson, some of the strongest lessons that my father never, I'm the last of five. Pastor Keita, you know, I'm the last of five, but I say I'm the fakest last born, because my father, at 14, he trusted me to go to Lagos. At 14, he trusted me to go to Lagos alone to buy a machine part. At 14, at less than 18, I went to bring my mom back from the airport. So you see that sense of leadership, that sense of ownership, that sense of responsibility, that if I'm in a place, I'm the leader there. I learned it from my dad, Reverend Osio Chamber. That was his name.
Wow. Yeah. We celebrate him.
I can go on and on, but those are some of the top lessons, yeah.
Celebrate him for giving us an amazing father that continues the legacy. We celebrate him sincerely.
Yes.
And you have said a whole lot, and somebody said, okay, let me appreciate, I can see my husband is on this conversation too.
we are very loyal, sir.
Okay.
So good to have you, Reverend Christian.
Somebody said empathy from fathers are so underrated, and that's true, because if you look at the world today, we fail to teach our children empathy. So like you said, people are quick to jump into conclusions. People do not try to put themselves in the shoes of others. Everybody is becoming so judgmental. And like I would say, everybody in the society comes from a family. Whatsoever we put in our children, that's what they're going to give out when they get into the society. So empathy is something that fathers should imprint to the lives of your children, both male and female. It's very important. It's very critical. Then the story of your father telling you about when you wanted to drive into an eatery. Do you know what just struck in my mind is that fathers should take opportunities to teach their children lessons. You don't have to wait to sit to have a conversation first. On the go, you are having lesson times with your children. So when you are having the opportunities, you can have scenarios, you can have circumstances, use them as teaching opportunities to ingrain and imprint in your children values, culture, wisdom, knowledge, just pour out ideologies that would shape their mindsets and make them become leaders and people that cannot be pushovers in the society. So every opportunity as a parent, the mothers, use the opportunities. Like, oh, the child can learn. You don't have to call for a meeting first. You can teach on the spot. It is very important. And there's something he also said at 14, his father sent him to Lagos. Do you know? I think I always say it, maybe in some conversations, you have to raise children that are independent and responsible, children that take ownership, not children that must be tied to your wrapper, children that they cannot do anything except you are there, except you say, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. You are the brain thinking for them, you are the hand working for them, you are everything to them. They will they will never always stay with you. So fathers must take responsibility and raise independent, responsible children that take ownership, not children that feel they are entitled, but children that can think, children that can use their brains. The brain was given for a reason. Teach your children to be able to think. Fathers need to teach their children to take responsibility. Now, I know most times it is a good thing we provide for our children, but teach them to know that they have the ability, give them the required skills that they can be able to take responsibility, because the sons will become fathers and the daughters will become mothers today. What kind of children are you raising as a father in your home? What kind of values are you putting into your child in your home? So it is so critical that we raise children that can think. I listened to was it a podcast? I listened to something, I can't remember, of a family psychologist one time years back. And when I saw the caption, it was like talking about the rebels, children being rebels, and like what? But when you listen to it, it was talking about children that can think, that can challenge the status quo, children that are creative with their mind. But it doesn't happen overnight. You have to be deliberate. Fathers need to be intentional with putting in their children the required skills for them to become the people that will build the society. The society will not build itself. It is people that build people to build a society. So it is very important. We're learning a lot from Reverend Chima, and we can see the impact of a father's legacy in the life of his son, and is continuing in that legacy and definitely impacting the knowledge, the wisdom, the culture, the values, the ideologies in his children, and much more. And it's going to keep moving from one generation to the other. We cannot stop the evil, we cannot stop the negativity, we cannot stop the stagnation that we have seen in generations before us by witching, by just talking. We must take action. Requires teaching, action requires action requires discipleship. And that is what discipline is about. When we say discipline your children, we are saying disciple your children. We are saying mold your children. We are saying teach your children. We are saying train your children. When the Bible says train up a child in the way it should go, it means disciple your children. So fathers must be deliberate. You are raising disciples, and disciples will learn from their master. So they begin to be trained. And at the end, we are all smiling because we have done a good job. The network today is really affecting our guests. And I don't know. Okay, what's written? Everybody in society comes from a family. So true. Thank you. The brain was given for a reason. Very true. Most of our fathers are too busy providing for us and leaving the jobs to the mothers. That is something that is so critical. Thank you at Itowan Sareme 1575. Now, it is so important, that point. There's a conversation we had years ago, and we talked about it takes two to parent. Parenting is not the mother's job alone, neither is it the job of the father alone. Parenting is for the mother and the father. So when fathers think, or some fathers think, that once I've provided the money, once I've provided the food, once I've provided the clothes, I have done my duties. That is a lie. Let me say the way robots will say it. See, robots will say it like, if yeah, lalayo, it's not possible. You have not even started what you may have started. That's just a little chunk of what is expected of you. Just a little. Okay. Let me get our guests back in, please. Sorry, I want to try and get our guests back in. Okay. Like I was saying, that's just a little chunk of what you are expected to do. Provide the money, provide the food, provide everything. But your responsibility as a father goes beyond that. And I think our guest is going to throw more light on that. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome.
Well,
They cannot try us in this
they cannot
conversation.
tell us
All
today.
the
They
good
can't.
duties you have brought, we'll collect everything today. They lie. We'll not
All
agree. Okay.
Please
So
confirm you can hear
now
me
I'm going to
clearly.
ask. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you. I can hear you. Sir. So, how can fathers build a deeper emotional connection with their children? Because most times people see that it's easier for mothers to do that. So the mothers should build the connection. The mothers are more emotional, so they can just lock in with their children. But that's not true. So how can fathers build a deeper emotional connection with their children?
Okay, so can I answer another question? Can I add a thought before I answer this question? Is that okay?
Answer.
Okay, so you said something so beautiful. I'm streaming also on YouTube, so I'm monitoring the conversation as well. You said
Okay.
something so profound about seizing responsibility to teach. That every opportunity is a class. Every
Yes,
opportunity
yes.
is a class. And it's something that I really found, in my dad, and I'm also trying to do with my sons as well, that we're able to leverage on every opportunity to teach. I can tell you several of those kind of responsibilities, or those kind of scenarios rather, where I was able to learn. And some of the things that I've been accused of is everything in the class. Yes, everything in my class. Everything in my class, everything, because those scenarios afford you precious opportunities to transfer a thought, precious opportunities. And so it's something that we should leverage. Now, how can a father emotionally connect with his child, or with his son, or with his daughter, as the case may be? There are a lot of Africanized myths in transmission that has affected heavily fatherhood. A lot of Africanized, in quotes, cultural myths that have affected, the approach to fatherhood. One is that fathers don't cry, they don't show emotions. Another is that some of us, well, not for many men, never had a hug with their dad. Many men never shared a tear with their, when they're, in fact, if the boy is crying, he say, "Come on, keep quiet, you're a man." No.
Men don't cry.
Every emotional expression is an opportunity for emotional maturity. Nobody can mature in an emotion they've not expressed. Nobody can mature in an emotion they have not expressed. So a father should provide an atmosphere where a child's discomfort is valid, a child's questions are answered. One of the things that every father must do is to go in search of answers. A father is the first answer point for his children. And so when a child runs to you and he discusses something with you, you should be able to provide answers to questions, not go and sit down. Or most prevalent is go and ask your mother, go and ask your mommy, go and ask your mommy. That they said we should do something in school, go and ask your mommy. That they said we should do, go and ask your mommy. Now, a time will come when those children's mind have removed you from being the one that responds to answers. That's the way it happens. That's just the way it happens. So a father must provide that emotional connect in responding to answers, in making the children's emotions valid, all right, to the degree that a child can trust you with joy. They can trust you with sadness. They can trust you with indifference. Yes. Those are some of the ways that you can, provide that emotional stability or emotional connection with your children. When they do well, you are their biggest cheerleader, right? When they don't do so well, you are also there to encourage. You know how parents compare their children to other children? Have you seen Mama, this person's child? Have you seen this person's child? Have you seen that person's child? Over time, the child cannot trust you with their losses. And trust me, that maturity is built by some of your losses. If you look at what's happening in our generation today, there is a lot of the conversation around, and what I'm about to say is quite delicate, so I'm going to slow down in my speech. The conversation around mental health issues is because many people didn't have strong emotional upbringing. Many people have not been raised by their fathers. It is a father that can tell you you can do better, yet he's not beating you down. When that person hears in the workplace, you can do better. I know how many times, my father drilled me so much that when I got my current job, for the first 6 months, I was asking, when will the work start? You see that work ethic? For the first 6 months, I was asking my friend, I said, now this thing be work. When people say that the bath go work, now be this so. Now the work be this. Because I've been drilled by a father, yet with so much love and empathy. You see that balance? It's just like our Father God. We have an opportunity for the gospel, right? Our Father God is the only one that can give justice and forgiveness at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
Our Father God is the one that can give justice and forgiveness at the same time. It's the same. That's how fathers should position that. We have 1,000,000 chances. We give our children 1,000,000 chances. Yet there is discipline. Yet there is correction. Yet there is instruction. If you are able to position here, you will connect emotionally. You will connect emotionally. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You will connect emotionally to a very, very, very great degree. A very, very, very great degree. Glory to God. All right. Are we still there?
We're here. We're trying to soak in everything you're saying. We're soaking in. I hope we're here, everyone watching us. Yes, I can see a lot of comments. Share the link. We're just a few minutes halfway into this conversation. Share the links. Invite your friends and family to come and join and come and hear something. It's not only for the fathers, even the mothers need to hear. Even the ones that are not married, that will be fathers tomorrow. It is preparation that precedes performance. Come and hear now. So that you know what you're supposed to do.
They are even in more advantage. It's bigger advantage to hear it now.
Yes, right. Yes, sir. Thank you. I like the part when you were emphasizing on children getting to the point that they remove their fathers, and let me add the mothers, from their, what will I say it now, their answer provision bank. Because over the years or over the months or consistently, parents are not there to give them answers to their questions. They're like, later, or go away. And we find out a lot of children are learning from people they should not be learning things from. And we're complaining because the fathers that should be answering certain questions in the lives of their children are not available to answer those questions. Because probably they feel it's a waste of time, or they feel the children are asking too many questions. And sometimes I ask, especially when you have younger children and they're asking questions, you say, keep quiet, you talk too much. What do you expect the child to do? It's part of the job of the child to be talking and be asking questions. Because we just tend to kill the curiosity in our children because we feel that they talk too much. Let them ask questions. Answer the questions. When you give them the answers, they will know and get it from somewhere. They will know that, oh, my daddy told me this thing, so this is what this person is saying. It cannot be correct, though. But when the daddy is not saying anything, everything they see online, social media, their friend is telling them it's correct. So we must wake up. We must wake up. Reverend Chima said something that fathers should go in search of answers. You must be on the, what's the word now? On the pathway of continuous improvement and continuous learning.
Yes.
You must be learning. You know, when you tell your child, go and learn, and some of you, before you know boss, you are giving the child, you know, if we give it to you like that, are you learning? Are you even learning? Have you even read a book since 2 years ago? Is your knowledge valid in this day and time? No, let's ask ourselves some questions as parents, because sometimes we feel that we have a right to ask our children to do certain things, and nobody has a right to ask us to do those things. whatever rule in your home works for the family should work for you too. If I ask some of us here, when last did you read a book? 90 as in many years ago. How are you improving mentally? How are you improving your parenting journey? What do you even know in this world of today that parenting is evolving? Do you understand the kind of children you're parenting as a father? Do you understand? Do you understand the way they think? Do you understand their psyche? Do you understand the way they feel? Do you understand the way they reason? Do you understand? So we need to go in search of answers, as Pastor Chima has said. Fathers, find a way, find time. Parenting is responsibility. It is stewardship. God has entrusted you with the life of a child. You cannot joke with that responsibility. And in that child is a, because your child is not your child is a generation. So let's wake up to answers. So we must teach our children. We must teach our children. I'm just trying to reiterate some things that our guest has said. We must teach our children to be able to handle pressure, and we do this with a balance of love and discipline. It's very important. You teach your children how to handle pressure. You are preparing a child to go into the society, because they will go there, and it is the skills, the values that you have placed in them. That's what will become their survival ability when they go out there. Children are going there and crumbling. Remember what Reverend Chima said about mental health. People are complaining mental health issue. We need to upgrade and teach our children emotional management skills in our home.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
it's not only to be taking them to school and they're going to learn academic and your child is getting all A's and you're excited. Is that the only thing about a child? There are other parts of a child that needs to be balanced, though, that needs to be trained. Though. A child has all A's in school and the child emotionally is zero. The child cannot associate, social interaction zero, honor skills zero. What are we saying now? So we need to improve. So, Dr. Chima, I hope we are still with me.
the network is not networking today.
Don't mind the networking. We must hear what you have to say.
But I trust that we are getting some truths out of this.
No, we're getting a lot. We are getting a lot. Yeah. Now, fatherhood, the word father, it goes beyond the title. It's not just a title. And that's why I tell people when I have the opportunity that you biologically give birth to a child doesn't necessarily mean you're the father of that child. Biologically, you can be termed as the father, but doesn't mean you are the father of the child. There are people that have biological fathers, but the fathers are not the fathers that are fathering them. And that is the way it is. So how can a father, or what does it mean for a father to leave a legacy of faith, of character, and of purpose in the life of his children? Faith, character, purpose. Pastor Chima, are you with me? Can you hear me?
I'm trying to figure out the network today. Okay. So something you said that was really good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can.
Okay, you talked about raising your children to be emotionally right. And the truth about the story is, it is only a father that can do that. We have boys that have been raised. I think it's T.D. Jakes that says that men raise their sons and spoil their daughters. He says mothers spoil their sons and raise their daughters. Yeah. And and I wish I could argue, but it's true that there is a beautiful balance that a father brings to the family. There's a beautiful balance that a father brings into the child. If your father tells his child, I believe in you, it does not matter what any other person says, he stays. He stays. If a father is cheering for his child, oh my. I was listening to a pastor preach. He says his daughter invited him. His daughter was running for maybe a race or inter-hospital or something. The daughter naturally is very fast. So he promised daughter that he'll be there. Lagos hold up, held him down. But he finally made it to the moment the daughter saw him. she took off. Why? That there is confidence that comes when you have your father's voice in your ears. I'm 41 this year, and till now, I still hear my father's voice in my ear. Till now. He still speaks confidence to me. It's the same thing that happens for my children. It's the same thing. My children knows that that Daddy believes in them. They do. They're not unsure of themselves. And we see that people grow up insecure because they didn't get the emotional support from their fathers. Yes, we are dealing with bad bosses today because fathers were absent or fathered poorly. We are dealing with issues in communities today because fathers were absent. That's the truth. That if a father is present and is doing his fathering well, I don't mean daddy, I mean father.
Yeah.
That understands the fine delicate between a yes response and a no response. Yeah, he knows the balance. There has to be a balance. There are many times I've said to my sons, "No, you're not getting that now," and they say, "Daddy, but why? This person's father gave." I say, "Yes, I'm not training that person. I'm training you. I'm not training that person. Now you are the train." So you see here that you must be intentional. Fatherhood is intentionality, right? Is that you are, it's almost like you are playing a strategic game, all right? And you must know how to respond to each child. Thank you so much, Dr. Rev.
So true. So true. And the part that and sometimes I think mothers need to understand that there are certain things or roles in the life of a child that the father must play, that the mother cannot adequately play. You know, sometimes I think we try to play the role, and sometimes you will, especially maybe we have single mothers, is actually a lot, but that's where a father figure comes into play. There are certain aspects of a child's life that the fathers are required. You cannot take out the fathers. You can't. There is no way. Like I said, it takes two to parent. There are certain things that you need the fathers to do in the life of a child, be it a boy, be it a girl. It is so important. A boy will learn masculinity, the true essence, the true meaning of father. And what portrays, that is a daughter will learn things from her father as emotional security. I remember there was a conversation, I think that should be first conversation when Chima joined us in, and we're talking about, I think that should be the first. No, I think the second. When we're talking about the relationship between a father and a daughter learns what love means first from her father. And that is a lot. The presence of a father goes a lot to shape a girl's mentality to certain things in her life. So we cannot take out fathers. Fathers cannot be replaced. You know, I heard of a research that was carried out, and at the end of it, I think 2/3 of the women that went through the research said fathers can be replaced. And I think another half of the remaining women said fathers can be replaced by, I can't remember what they say fathers can be replaced by. You need fathers in the lives of your children. Forget it. If you're a single mom raising a child, you can get a father figure that can stand in for your child. We can't throw away fathers. No. Let's stop trying to be, you know, this thing of, no, a woman has a place. You have your responsibility in parenting. A father has his responsibility in parenting. Let's not try to prove a point. And a father and a mother are not in competition with themselves when it comes to raising their children. They are there to complement themselves. You are there to work as a team. You are there to work as a team. It takes two to parent. Teamwork is required. It's so essential. Now, he said something about the loudest voice. I listened to someone sometime, and you said, let's take, for instance, you're going through a busy market. Let's say, which busy market will I use now? Let's say in Nigeria, you're going through Onisha market. It's a very big market. And you're hearing a lot of voices. People are telling you, come and buy this, come and buy that, come and buy that, come and buy that. And suddenly, there's this person you have dealt with over the years. You have patronized the person over the years. And the person's voice just called your name and say, I am here. It clicks. because there is connection. Which voice is loudest in the subconscious of your children? Is it the voice of media? Is it the voice of evil? Is it the voice of their friends or their peers? What voice is the loudest in their mind? Pastor Chima said something that today you can still hear literally. You can hear the father's voice, things the father has spoken to him about. Which voice can your child hear? And your children will only hear your voice if you have invested in speaking to them. That's the truth. How can they hear your voice when you don't even talk to them? You don't do anything with them. And that's why it comes to, you don't wait for the perfect moment to have conversations with your children, your sons, your daughters as a father. They may never be a perfect moment. They may never be a perfect moment. Every moment is an opportunity for you to have conversations with children because they may never be a perfect moment. And we go others, we're wasting a lot of opportunities looking for perfect timing. The little on the go, you're taking your child to school, have a conversation. You come home, you pat your child on the back, have a conversation. Very important. Stop trying to gather time. Okay, I want to have 4 hours, 2 hours. The little consistent conversations we have with our children, that's what builds the voice. And so when they find themselves at the crossroad, they hear the father's voice saying, this is what you're supposed to do. He said you will hear his still small voice saying behind, this is the way, walk therein. You can only hear the voice if you're conversant with the voice, or if you have had relationship with the owner of the voice. Okay, very important. The network is really affecting our guests today. Thank you, everyone. I can see your comments. All-round balance in a child's life is an essential duty of a father. Thank you so much, at Michelle Victor. Yeah, thank you. Father is a pillar of stability and development in the life of a child. Thank you so much, Reverend Christian of it. Okay, so there's something he said I really want to comment on again. When he talked about the fact that when he raises his child, he said, it's you I'm raising, not somebody else's child. So a father should be able to know the difference, and when it's needed to say a yes, a firm yes, and to say a firm no. Most times we tend to just give in into children. And some of us define it as gentle parenting. There's a lot on gentle parenting these days. Gentle parenting does not say there should be lack of boundaries. Gentle parenting does not say you should not be able to say no to your children. I tell my daughter a lot, no, you can always have what you want. And that is it. That is it. Especially for some of us that have maybe young children, and before you know, they a lot of throwing of tantrums, they cry, some of them beat themselves on the floor. No problem. You will stop crying. But you're sending a message. You're teaching the child boundaries. You're teaching the child to understand and to learn how to accept no. We raise children in this generation that cannot take no. And somebody tells a child no, and the child has emotional breakdown. And you're wondering, no. We will raise our children. Skill up your children. But you cannot skill up your children if you have not skilled up yourself. Parenting begins with you as the parent. You cannot give what you don't have. It is not possible. It's not. How can you train royalty when you're not a kingmaker? You can't. How can you raise a king when you're not a kingmaker? You cannot. How can they understand the principles of royalty when you yourself as a parent, you have not walked through the corridors of royalty? You don't understand the dynamics of royalty. It begins with you as a parent. Our guest network. Oh God, our conversation is going fast. Every moment's an opportunity to have conversation. Okay. So we'll keep continuing the conversation, and hopefully our girls will be able to join us back before the end of this conversation, the conversation time. We had a lot of questions, but network has really been affecting our girls, but all good. I know we've soaked in a lot of things. We have soaked it in. And even as you are soaked it in, go back and digest and chew. I don't know how many of you learned it in, was it biology or one of the sciences? Is it regurgitation? You bring it back, the animal brings it and chew the cord and take it back. So you have to go back, sit over this, think about it, meditate upon it, and let it come out in your reality. And that is why you can go back and watch this conversation on our YouTube channel, School of Parenting Akin SOP. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel and get your friends and family to subscribe. You can actually watch this conversation again. And every other conversations we have had, majorly most of the conversations we've had. And even the previous 2 conversations that Reverend Chima has been with us on this platform, on our YouTube, they are there. He came back on and the network threw him out again. They are there. You can watch those conversations again. They are there. I think one was about the present father, or the importance of presence of father. I know the other one to talk with relationship with your daughter as a father. So you can go back and watch this conversation. So critical. Okay. So one question we must ask ourselves as parents, I pray it comes back. I'm going to ask them, what do you want your children to remember about you? What do you want? What do you want to be remembered for? When your children think about you, their father, what do they remember you for? The father that beats us, the father that yells at us, the father that is always buying us candy. What will they remember you? What will be the picture in their mind when they call your name years from now? When they think about you and sit down to remember, what will they remember you for? What memories will they have? What pictures will go through their minds? It's very important. And that is something we do on a daily basis. We are creating the memories with our children. We are creating, oh God, it's back. Oh, nice. It's back. Okay.
So sorry, so sorry, so sorry.
See my hands are up. Oh, thank you.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
excited you are back. I'm excited you are back.
Yes, yes. The internet has been really bad around here for a while. I thought we'll be able to get by today, so we need to find a way around it. But I'm back now.
We're
Yeah.
finding a way around though. Okay, our time is really fast spent, but I'm going to still ask you some questions. Like I said, our conversation does not end at the exact time. So please, apologies first. Let me apologize on behalf of the hair. When we on this conversation, we don't end exactly at the exact time. So please, bear with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what family traditions can help strengthen a father's legacy? What kind of traditions can a father inculcate in his family that can help
Hmm.
strengthen his legacy?
Okay, so top three on my head right now is one, spirituality. One,
Okay.
spirituality. The father must show. There's something the Bible describes as my father's God. A father must give his children his God. You must hand over your children to your God. Hand your children. The Bible says one generation will praise the Lord to the next. So a father has the responsibility of handing over his God to his children. So there's the spiritual culture. Now, the next thing I'll talk about is the ministry of helps. The Bible talks about how some have entertained angels unawares. That
Yes.
one of the things I grew up with was seeing my parents help people. You can go to school and come back and you don't have a room for 6 months. Just like that. You go to school and come back. I'm serious. You don't see one missionary who is coming to Nigeria to preach with his wife and his 2 children. They're in your room. And it's not as if there's a conversation to say, oh, we are expecting missionaries. So, oh, they are coming. No. You just come out of school, hoping to just go to your room and lie down and sleep. I said, hey, Chima, come. Go to this other room. So it's something yes, that we have learned. The ministry of helps. Our homes must be open to help. Our homes must be open to be kind to people, to accommodate people, to be. Your children should learn charity from you. The saying that charity begins at home. Literally, they should learn charity from you. Now, the third thing I would say is the culture of diligence. One of the things my father taught us was diligence and contentment. Let's just tie those two together. That my father taught us to never to beg. Never to beg. Never to beg. We don't beg. No, we not beg. Never to beg, but rather to work. To work for your money. Let your hands be dirty, so that you can have some self-worth. Yeah, some self-worth. So if I want to give it the top 3, one is a father's legacy. He must transfer his God to his children. 2, he must transfer the ministry of helps to his children. Number 3, he must teach them diligence and that contentment in what you have. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
What's the word you said? He must hand over his God to his children. I like that. I like that sentence. He must hand over his God to
God,
his
it's true.
children. So
Yes.
fathers should stop leaving spiritual responsibility to their wives. A father is the priest of his home. Yes. A
Yep.
father is the priest of his home. I remember when your dad taught us. Yes, he taught me and my husband in marriage counseling. And one thing, okay, yes. And after there was time they came to train us on marriage, he said something about fathers. I may not remember the exact 5 P's, but I know he talked about a father. A man should be the priest of his home.
I
Should
can
be the
tell
prophet of
you
his
for
home.
free. I can tell you for free.
Provider.
Yes.
Please tell me for free. Tell me for free. And I know in one conversation you added presence. Tell me for free.
That's the sixth one. I added presence as the first. So presence, I'm now the owner of it. So it's no longer my father. I'm the owner now. So presence, provider, protector, priest, prophet, pastor.
You can heal fathers. That's why I was saying that your responsibility is not just only to provide. It is one dimension of your responsibility as a father. So fatherhood is a big tree with branches. Now, one of your branch is a prophet. One, I hope I don't forget everything. One is a priest. Then you have a protector. Then you have a provider. What am I missing out? Then you have presence. That should be all right. So one of your expressions as a father is, what's the word now? One of your expressions as a father is just to provide. That's not the only expression you have as a father or the only responsibility you have as a father.
Yep.
It's just one thing. And a lot of us spend everything and sum our entire sorry, I'm trying to get back. And sum our entire responsibility as a father as being a provider. When you have different expressions, different responsibilities, presence, prophet, priest, provider, protector, only you. Yeah. I great as a father. I celebrate every father out there. It's a lot of responsibility.
A lot.
It's a lot of responsibility. So it's a lot. So teach the ministry of health. Teach your children diligence and contentment. This generation, most children are not taught diligence. And so they expect everybody to do everything for them and give them everything. And they cross their legs waiting. Daddy should pro everything. You have teenagers in your home. You're not teaching them to be responsible. You're not teaching them to be. They don't even have a mindset of. They sit down there and they're still calling you at age 28, 24. Daddy, send me money now. Recharge cards. I don't understand.
Let me tell you. Let me share a sad scenario with you, Doc, my pastor. I'm calling you Doc. You better go and get that PhD, Doc.
I'll forget it too.
So I was talking with, or rather, I was standing by the road somewhere. I've forgotten the scenario, but I was standing by two people talking. And the man was saying, I'm very upset with my mommy. You know, my mommy, I asked my mommy to send me money and she sent me only 30K. What am I supposed to do with 30K? This guy was 35 at the point of this conversation. So you see that there is a problem. That one now will go and see somebody's daughter on TikTok and marry. You see now, and then there will not be a problem. You see, he doesn't take responsibility. He doesn't lead us. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that because there was a fundamental issue. There's a fundamental issue.
Yeah. Exactly. Especially when it comes to raising these our boys or our sons to men. That's a conversation for another day. A big conversation for another day. Let me not go there. Let's not even go into that pattern. One day, I'm going to bring you here. I'm going to talk about boys. Let's leave that one. So how can fathers ensure that legacy becomes transgenerational? Your legacy does not end with just your children. How can you make it transgenerational? It goes beyond.
Delegate that legacy while you are here. Delegate that legacy. Legacy is a way of life. If your children always see you do it, daddy is doing it, daddy is doing it. Okay. I'm sorry, we're going to say, Reverend, you're daddy, yeah, daddy. I'm very privileged to have a good father. My father would say, they send him later to preach. All right. And he will say, no. That topic is not my topic. That's my son's topic. Yes. One of those occasions, they invited him, and the theme was As Soon as Zion Travails. I would never forget, because it was the first time. I was not in Warrior at the time, Doctor and Pastor. I was not in Warrior at the time. I was doing business. I started my fashion business, and so I think I was somewhere buying material or something. And then my phone rings, and I'm like, Chima, how are you? He doesn't call me Chima. No, how are you? I'm fine, sir. And then he says, when are you coming back to Warrior? I said, tomorrow evening, sir. He says, good, because you're preaching next tomorrow. I said, sir, preaching to who? For who? How? How did we get to preach? How did we get to that summary of preaching? And so I quickly wrapped up, jumped into the bus, got to Warrior, and started planning for the message. Now, if your children don't have a hands-on experience of this way of life you have called a legacy, hands-on, you will give them responsibility like the eagle. You will push them off the cliff and let them fly. You will teach them. You will give them that responsibility. You know, there are things that are advised. There are things that are instructed. And there are things that are commanded. There are things that are advised. If you like, you can wear a white shoe or a black shoe. If you like, wear a white shirt. If you like, wear corporate or agbada. That is advice. There are things that are instructed. My dear, I want to do this, and this. Yes, and then it will come and say, okay, what if we do this in this way? What if we do that in that way? It's an instruction, but we're looking for how to implement that instruction. There are things that are command. This is how we will do it here. This is how we do it here. It may come with some level of resistance. Give it time. Eventually, it will come a way of life. Legacies are indoctrinated. I've been looking for that word since. Indoctrinated. You will indoctrinate. You will indoctrinate. You will take out time to teach your children. You will push them. You will give them responsibility. I went to church one morning, and they needed to quickly set up another room for children. We had more children than usual, so they were moving chairs from one point to the other. And so church had started, and so they had to use the children to move the chairs, the older children. And here was my son with chair on his head. And then, somebody saw me, and somebody saw me standing there, and the person said, hey, no, bring the chair. Hey, leave the chair there, leave the chair on his head. Leave it there. He should carry it. Yes, he should carry it. And when that happened, other children were carrying too. You will not, oftentimes, and this is what I find, men train their staff and leave their children.
So true.
They train their staff and leave their children. So you have responsible staff and irresponsible children. And when you die, guess who takes over your business? The irresponsible child.
Yes, yeah, the irresponsible child. That's true. And
yes.
It melts.
So the irresponsible child will now be boss of the responsible staff that you trained. Then the responsible staff will now frustrate your child and will start in Nigerian film. Yes. So legacy from one generation to the other is indoctrinated. Indoctrination is a fine combination of practice and teaching, practice and teaching, practice and teaching, practice and teaching until it becomes a way of life. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
God. Reverend Chima is like, we should just continue this conversation and not close. God, amazing. Oh. As you were talking, I was just like, some people will be like, oh God, this man had a great father. I did not. But if peradventure you did not have an amazing dad, let it be a motivation for you to be an amazing dad.
Yeah.
So that yes, you did not have. It should not be an excuse for you to replicate your experiences in the life of your children. Let it be a motivation for you father to your children. Very important.
Mhm.
And
I agree.
as you were talking, and it just got to me, like when you saw your son carry the chair on the head, and they're like, status should not deprive us of training our children. That
Mhm.
you are this person, that this person, my child cannot, my child cannot. You are just making the child miss opportunities to grow and to learn. That's the truth. So
You
your
will not be
status,
there.
you
You will
will
not
not
always be
have,
there.
never,
You will not
never,
always be there. You will not always
never.
be there. A time will come where they will need to carry that chair on their head, and then they don't know how to carry it.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true. So
That's the truth.
let's be very intentional and let's not rob our children of the lessons they need to learn. Let's not
Absolutely.
rob them of the experiences, the opportunities of growth that every day presents to them. Let's
Mm,
not rob them of that. It's part of the
absolutely.
process. Part of the
Absolutely.
process. Pastor Chima, I'm going to ask you the last question for this conversation. And
Yes.
is, what do you want your children to remember most about you?
That's a hard question. You know, this question, I've been thinking about it for some days now. Let them remember how I made them feel.
Hmm. Hmm.
Does that even make sense? Yeah. Let them remember, the thoughts of me give them motivation for life.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what my father does for me. That's what my father's memory does for me. That
Hmm.
it gives me motivation to say, okay, let me give you a very personal experience. My father died on a Wednesday morning, and a day after he died, I get a call from a friend of mine, one of our ministers of the gospel in the country. So he calls in and says, Pastor Chima, I need you, please. He doesn't know my dad died. He doesn't know about us. I need you, please, to lead prayer for me in my concert, a big concert held in one of the biggest places in this country. I said, the first thing that came to mind was, I'm not in that place right now. As that thought was rising, and my father's voice was also rising in my head to say, hey, go and lead that prayer, my friend. Go and lead that prayer, my friend.
Wow.
And then I said, oh, no, man, God, I'll be there. And I went the next day, led the prayer. That's what I want my children to remember me. I want my thoughts in their head, in their minds, to be the voice of courage, the voice of comfort, the voice of affirmation, the voice of correction. I want my children to always refer to say, what would daddy think about this? And when they're able to answer that question, they're able to make their own decisions in their own lives. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. What would daddy think? What would daddy do?
What would that be?
It's a lot. Thank you so much, Pastor Chima. It has been
My
a
pleasure. Apologies, everyone, for the bad network.
It's like I should have you again like next month and just continue this conversation and let's just keep going.
You're my leader. I cannot say I cannot have time. We'll just plan it properly.
Thank you so much. I think that everyone in the conversation has learned something that will better them. And it has been a very, very, very eye-opening conversation. A very eye-opening conversation. Fathers are so important in the lives of their children. Personally, I didn't really have a very close relationship with my dad. He has passed. He's passed now. And I can tell that there are certain areas in my life that if probably I had that kind of relationship with him, that would have been better. Things that you may have to learn on your own because probably you did not have that kind of relationship with your father. So, and I pray that every father here or fathers or people that will become fathers will see it as a blessing to be a father to a child. It's not a curse. It's not a burden. It's not trouble. It's a blessing for God to entrust another individual to your hands.
Pastor, is a calling. Is a calling.
Parenting is a calling. Oh God, parenting is a calling. Very true. Parenting is a calling to raise a people for God, a people that will change a nation. You are called. So people that say I don't have a calling, you lie. If you're a parent, you are called. You laugh. You have been called by the Lord. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Shima. So it's not your last words. Any words you have, general words you have for the people there that are watching, any words, any words. Maybe outside the parenting, something I just want to say to them. Oh, it's like network has freeze Pastor Chima again. Oh wow. We need to close this conversation right now. I'm so sorry, we're 15 minutes behind our time. I apologize, but Pastor Chima's conversations are always like this, and the network has not been so friendly to us today. So I sincerely do apologize for extending our time today. So we're going to be calling it is it a night or afternoon or morning, depending on where you're watching me from. This conversation has been an amazing one. We've learned a lot. Please, if you can go back and listen to this conversation. Fathers, you're important. I tell you, you're important. If you feel like you were discouraged, pat yourself on the back and say you're doing something. You're doing something. What you need to do is just to take the baby steps. Keep doing something every day. Keep working in the right direction. You're going to see results. So, fathers, thank you so much. Keep Pastor Chima say legacy is indoctrinated. So legacy is indoctrinated. So it's a way of life. Let's keep on a daily basis, keep building our legacies in the lives of our children. It's so important, very important. I always say in this conversation, spend time with family, create memories that will last. When they think about you, what comes to their minds? Spend time with your loved ones because at the end of the day, it's your family you have. Yes. So spend time with them, create memories so that you don't get to a point and you look around and there's no family around, there's no child there to give you a call. Call them. Find a way to connect with them. Pastor Chima said something that the presence is not necessarily proximity. Connect children. You must not always be in a physical room with them. You may walk 40 miles away from them. Your job may be out of the country or something, but you can still connect with your children. So thank you everyone for joining us on this conversation. Keep following us on our social media page on Facebook, Instagram, School of Parenting SOP. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please do and send to your friends and your loved ones. Very important. We have also a School of Parenting community. If you'd like to be part of that community, you can send me a DM on our social media page. I'm going to add you to that community. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this conversation. It has been a wonderful conversation. Hopefully, we'll see in the month of July. SB Conversations will every last Monday of the month. Do have an amazing tomorrow. The month ends. Thank you, fathers. I celebrate you. Fathers matter. Intentional fatherhood is critical. School of Parenting celebrate every one of you. So, signing out, I am Kitty Ahmed, the founder of School of Parenting, the convener of School of Parenting Online Conversation. Have a beautiful night, beautiful afternoon, a beautiful morning, depending on where you're watching me from. And thank you all for joining me on this conversation. It's bye for now.